Kusum, how are you doing?
Good morning, ma'am. How are you? I'm doing well. What about you?
Are you back, Kusum? Okay, great. Last time, Kusum, did we do a grammar test?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Yeah, we had done a grammar test. Okay. And did we do, yeah, so the last time I think I told you about the fact that we will do an idiom lesson today, right?
No, ma'am. We have done idioms as well. Today, I want to discuss about weakness in interviews.
That's what I was thinking. There was something that I had to discuss with you. So I was just wondering what it was. What was it that you wanted to talk to me about?
About weakness, how to tell weakness in interviews.
Your weaknesses in interviews. Got it. Okay. So do you have something in mind already?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So you
I'm
want to talk
asking
about,
you because if I
you're
tell
talking
my
about your,
weakness, if I tell my
okay.
weakness, they are not going to hire me. That's why I want to ask how should I say in a good way so that they can become my strength.
Okay. So it depends on the kind of position that you're looking for. What position are you looking for to be hired for?
Uh, for example, I would go for teaching.
Okay. Fine. So what are your areas of concern?
No, I am able to find right word, right time, but I'm not able to tell my feelings to others easily. I will think, yeah,
Oh,
I will tell in this way. I have to think, then I speak. It takes 1 hour, 2 hours, 1 day, 2 days.
okay. So you mean to say that you have the right words and vocabulary, but it's difficult for you to express your emotions. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you give me an example? Has this happened to you before, Kusum?
Mm, like for instance, my husband and I are conflicting, fighting, argument, whatever it is. So I'm not able to tell him in the same way he is telling me. Like if he is telling me something, then I'm not able to tell him. I take 2 days, 3 days, then I tell him you spoke like this, you spoke like this, so you
Okay.
did wrong. You should not said like this. So I don't know what is this my weakness or my nature? I don't know.
No, it must be your nature because I am also like that. It's not a weakness, it is just part of your nature. It has nothing to do with your weakness. So, because initially I thought when you said that, I thought you were saying that your vocabulary is a problem. That is what I thought. But you're saying that you have the right.
So you are resonate with me in this way.
Yes,
Resonate
yes,
is
I
the
resonate with you.
resonate is the
Resonate
right
is
word
correct.
to use
Yes,
here.
yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. It's absolutely right. I resonate with you, absolutely. Because the thing is, I am also like this. When I have a problem, that is, I think that is it's actually a negative thing. You're right. Because if we have an issue, we should deal with that issue then and there
Yes.
rather than keeping it. And then what happens is it sort of keeps burning and burning and burning, and then in the end it just becomes too much, and then you just explode. Yeah,
Yes.
so it's like you've blown a gasket or something, you know. So yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah,
Mhm.
but I think that has nothing to do with your teaching profession per se, no? Or are you talking about the fact that when you have a student and you don't like the way the student is behaving, you don't mention it to that student immediately? You're saying that it will take you days to talk about it?
Mhm.
Is
Yes,
that what
ma'am.
you're saying?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Well, that is a, yeah. So if I were you, I would not say that. Because if you have a tough student, if you have a student who is not doing well in class, or if you have an unruly student, it is always better. You always have to deal. You have to. Okay. So the idiom that I would use here is take the bull by its horns. You would have to take the bull by its horns, right?
Mhm.
Because the thing is, I've already typed that for you in the chat box. So the reason I say that you have to take the bull by its horns is because you have to you have to face the issue firsthand. You can't just say that, oh, you know what, I have a problem and I can't face the issue. If you have an unruly student, or if you have a student who is not performing to the best of his or her abilities, you should take the bull by its horns and you should instantly handle that student. But
Like
apart from this, what else? Yeah.
sorry to interrupt you. Actually, I want to ask, like, how should I say in interviews my weakness?
Yeah, that's what I also, apart from this, that's what I was going to actually ask you. Apart from this, do you have any other weakness? Like, do you have a time management problem? How good are you with handling time?
I am
No.
punctual. I am hardworking. So I don't. I. It is very difficult to find weakness, ma'am. How should I find out? I don't know.
So what you can say is you can okay. So this is one way of saying it. What you can say is I have a problem. Okay, I have a problem with criticism. You can start off like this. Okay. So what you can say is I have a problem with criticism and specifically in doling out criticism. This is one way of saying it. Doling out, D-O-L-E space I-N is a phrasal verb which means to give out something.
Mhm.
So dole out means to, so not dole in, it's dole outer. That is a phrasal verb, sorry. Dole out means to give out advice, to speak. Dole means to speak. So
Mhm.
dole out is a phrasal verb which means to give out advice or to say something. That is the meaning of dole out. So I have a problem
Mhm.
with doling out criticism. Okay, so I have a problem with doling out criticism. Now, in my opinion, I wouldn't use the word problem here. So, what I would say is I have noticed. So, what you can say is because I inherently, you can say that because I inherently look for the positives in individuals,
Mhm.
I find it hard to dole out criticism. So, dole out criticism. Because I inherently look, inherently means mainly, look for the positives in individuals. Spelling of individuals is wrong, sorry. I inherently look out for the positives in individuals. I find it hard to dole out criticism. This is the first sentence, and you can say that. But having said that, I understand that the backbone of my profession involves my profession involves being straight with my students in order that they, or you can say, in order that they become the best versions of themselves. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, but having said that, I understand that this is the second. This is the second sentence. The first sentence, Kusum, is a problem, or we can say that because I inherently look for the positives in individuals, I find it hard to dole out criticism. But having said that, I understand that the backbone of my profession involves being straight with my students in order that they become the best versions of themselves. So it is something that I am diligently working on. So it is something that I am diligently working on. Diligently spelling is. So it
Mhm.
is something that I am diligently working on.
So, ma'am, for example, I I tell you my strength. Okay, I would describe myself as a vivacious, industrious, and honest to a fault. So, like these are the short forms. So, how can I tell my strength in this way, in adjectives? How can
Honest to a fault is completely opposite to what we have mentioned your weakness. If you are
so?
honest to a fault, that means you have a problem. That means you don't have a problem with being straight with your students and giving them criticism. That is what you're trying to say.
I have said about my strength. I told you my strength to you.
I know that you told me your strength. I understood that. My
Hmm.
question to you is if you were telling me your strength is being one of your strengths that you mentioned as being honest to a fault, but just now you told me that you have a problem with dealing with emotions or talking about your emotions, then how can you possibly? It is, they are contradicting themselves. They are
Yes.
two contradicting statements. So you cannot mention that you're honest to a fault.
Okay. So I have to
So what
choose.
I would do is, if I were you, okay, if I was to ask, if someone asks you, what are your strengths, or what are the traits that make you a perfect teacher?
Mhm.
The question is, what are the traits
Mhm.
that make you a good teacher?
Mhm.
Because there's no such thing as perfect. So, what are the traits that make you a good teacher? Okay, so the answer to that question would be that I am an industrious. Okay. So what you can say is apart from being
Diligent.
diligent, industrious,
Mhm.
and punctual,
Mhm.
I have a vibrant personality
Mhm.
that ensures that I get down to the level of my students and make them view me as a compadre. Make them view me as a compadre rather than a an authoritative figure. I will explain. Apart from being diligent, industrious, and punctual, I have a vibrant personality that ensures that I get down to the level of my students and make them view me as a compadre. Now, compadre means your female friend. Or rather than using the word compadre, you can also use the word confidant. You can say this word also, confidant. Both of these words are correct. So you can see that make them view me as a compadre or a confidant rather than an authoritative figure. So rather than viewing you as someone in a position of authority and someone who's automatically a scary person, because when we talk about the principal of our school, for instance, we're like, oh my god, the principal is coming, let's be quiet. We have that kind of an attitude. So rather than viewing you as an authoritative figure, they see you more as a compadre or a confidant, someone with whom they can get down to, someone whose level they can get down to and express themselves easily and freely and talk about more things rather than just the subject that you are teaching.
Yes.
So that is the reason as to why you can say that you can use this particular sentence. So that is the way you could be able to talk about your strengths. As far as your weaknesses are concerned, some they'll probably ask you, do you have any areas of concern? So what you can say is you can say that I would rather use the term area of concern rather than weakness, because I do believe, rather than weakness, because I do believe that individuals have scope for constant improvement. Then you can talk about, so you can start of the sentence or start of the conversation by saying, that is when you're asked about your weaknesses. You can say, I would rather use the term areas of concern, sorry, areas of concern rather than weakness, because I do believe that individuals have scope for constant improvement. Lots of spelling mistakes are there. Sorry about that. Again, the spelling is wrong. Improvement.
No problem.
Okay, so that is another way of saying that. Why is your camera switched off, Kusum?
Is it switch off?
Yes,
No.
I
Let me
can't
check.
see you. Ah, now I can. Again, it's gone. For a very long time, your camera has been switched off. Okay,
Now,
again, yeah, it just comes and goes. Okay, so there must be some problem at your end because I can't.
is it perfect now?
No, no, I can't see you, but I can hear you. But for a very long time, I was not able to see you. So I was wondering if you had switched it off on purpose.
Should I rejoin it?
Yeah, if you can rejoin it, that would be great because then I can see you as well.
Yes, ma'am. Now am
Yeah,
I with?
audible, visible, everything is perfect.
Okay.
So was I clear on all the things that I mentioned? Were you able to take a screenshot? There were a lot of errors, but you can always the recording had me saying as well.
Yes, ma'am. No
So
problem.
okay. So that was what you wanted to talk about. Is there anything else that you wanted to clarify in the interview? If the interview is what you're concerned about, why don't we do a mock interview today to see how you deal with questions? Are you okay with that?
No, ma'am. In next session we will do interview. Now time
Sure.
is running.
The time is running out. So is there anything else that is it clear? Whatever I told you is clear, or do you want to add something further to it?
I want to add, ma'am, only like how would I describe my weakness in 2 or 3 adjectives? So is it possible?
Describe your weaknesses in 2 or 3 adjectives.
How would you describe your weakness in 3 adjectives?
Say that it is very difficult to
Mm,
categorize my areas of concerns or categorize my areas of concern in 3 adjectives.
mm,
But I would definitely say,
mm.
but I definitely do have 3 traits that I need to work on. I definitely do have three traits that I need to work on. My speed being the top one, my impulsive nature ranks at number two, and finally, my temper. And finally, my temper. Or you can say, finally, my short fuse. So my speed being the top one, okay, you can say that my speed takes the top spot. My speed takes the spot top. My speed takes the top spot. My
So ma'am, what
impulsive
does it mean?
nature, sorry,
Take take the spot. What does it mean?
takes the top spot. Top spot. That means the number one issue that I have to work on is my speed because I'm very fast. I'm a fast talker, or I am very fast paced.
Mhm.
Okay, paced. Sorry, PACED. Okay. So what you could say is my speed takes top one. My impulsive nature, or you can say impulsiveness.
Okay, so ma'am, you have used one words, but I definitely do have details that I need to soak on. Work on, is it work on, right?
Sorry, work on,
Okay, okay, ma'am. Okay,
work.
got it.
I meant
Got
to
it.
say work. Yeah.
I thought it was a new one.
No, 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 no,
No,
no.
no problem. No
so,
problem.
so speed, impulsiveness, and my short fuse. So short fuse means a short temper or someone who gets angry very fast.
So, ma'am, it is, I think if you're short tempered, though, I think you
Yes,
should.
instead of saying short temper, you can use short fuse because short fuse is it sounds better, more effective communication, and also indicates that you have a good range of vocabulary when you say short fuse.
But
So
I
when I say
don't
I
think,
have I have a short fuse. Yeah, so that will be
ma'am,
sorry,
I don't
fuse.
think we should tell this weakness in interviews, short tempered or like this, right?
Sorry.
So, ma'am, do you think we should explain my this type of weakness in interviews? Short
Yeah,
fuse, short.
there's nothing wrong with saying it because I will explain. So if you were to ask me what are my three traits, okay, or describe your weaknesses in three adjectives, I would start off by saying, relegating. You can start off by saying relegating or categorizing. You can use the word relegate, or relegating or categorizing
Hmm,
my weaknesses. And then you
hmm.
can continue the sentence as above. Relegating or categorizing my areas of concern in three adjectives is going to be is definitely tough, but I do have three traits that I need to work on: speed, impulsiveness, and my short fuse. And so then the interviewer is going to probably ask you, so short fuse, and you're going to be a teacher. Don't you think that that's something that you shouldn't be having? So then you can say my short fuse usually ignites when people do not deliver as promised. So up until that point, I'm extremely friendly and I am extremely vibrant and I am your friend and all of that. But once you have you have not submitted an assignment on time, or once you have not done the work like I had asked you to do, then I get irritated and that's when my short fuse ignites. So that is what we are trying to say. My short fuse usually ignites when people do not deliver as promised. That's what we are trying to say. My short fuse usually ignites when people do not deliver as promised.
Okay, ma'am, and you have used one word impulsive.
Yeah.
So, impulsive, I think it means without think thinking we say
Yeah.
something, right?
Yes. Doing something, not just saying, also doing. Doing something without thinking is called being impulsive. So if I set my mind to do something, I will not think of the pros and cons involved. I will just do it. And then later on, I'll be like, yeah, I should have checked this properly. I should have done this correctly. So the other day, I'll tell you an example that happened last week. It happened with me. My intention was to book a movie ticket for Monday. And
Mhm.
so I was looking and I saw that all the tickets were full. So I went onto the Book My Show app and I saw that all the tickets were full. So I was supposed to go with my friend and I said, I'll take care of booking the tickets. And so she said, yeah, yeah, sure. I said, my God, it's so difficult for us to get tickets. And then I booked the tickets and I said, oh, I finally got two tickets for us. And it was thousand something rupees, right? Because there were two tickets. And then what happened was the next day morning, her husband, it was not even her husband said, Oh my God, you people have booked tickets for last night. So I had booked tickets for Sunday for a movie that we were supposed to go on Monday. You get it? So I wasted how much money?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So that is my impulsive nature. I was like, oh my God, I saw two tickets. I did not even bother checking. I only saw the movie. There was a movie that we wanted to watch. That was all that I was interested in. I did not check anything else. And I
Yeah.
was like, damn. So it was just a complete waste of money, right? So that
Yeah.
is where you lose.
And
Yeah.
friends, I do the same.
Oh, really? Yeah, see, there we are. So we don't think twice before doing something, or sometimes we see an expensive dress. Okay, Kusum. And then what happens is, okay, so that actually that is more of carelessness. What I told you as an example of carelessness, I should have been more vigilant when I checked. I should have made sure the date, the time, the theater, all these things we should check before going anywhere. Now, impulsive nature actually, Kusum, means I will see a nice sari online. So what happened was this happened with me again. I saw a beautiful sari online on Amazon, and it was only 450 rupees. But the sari looked beautiful. I have never bought a sari online ever. I always, whenever I buy a sari, I only buy it in store. So I bought the sari. Okay. And then after buying the sari, I realized, oh crap, I did not buy the underskirt. It was only when my husband mentioned about the underskirt, I was like, oh, I forgot to buy the underskirt. But then the point I'm trying to make, Kusum, is it was an impulse buy. Impulseduy. But it was a beautiful sari and I wore it for a wedding. It was
Oh,
only 450 rupees. Normally, saris you wear, you have to spend thousands of rupees on a sari that you wear for a wedding. But I wore the sari, and even so, the wedding that I went to was my friend's brother's wedding. So my friend, she was wearing a silk sari, right? This sari was a cotton sari, but it was a gorgeous sari because it had beautiful, it was pictures of birds. There were little birds and beautiful motifs. So the sari looked like it was worth at least 3,000 rupees, but actually the sari was only 4.
perfect.
So that was an impulse buy, but it was a good impulse buy. Sometimes what happens is you'll see a fancy pair of shoes which is 5,000 rupees. I've never done that, by the way. But sometimes you'll see a 5,000 rupee shoe and you'd like, forget the money. I just want to buy those shoes. So that is an impulse buy. You're not thinking whether you have any money reserved for something else because those shoes look gorgeous. So you don't want to think of anything else. So you go ahead and you do something without thinking. So that is called impulsiveness. When you do something or say something without thinking, it's called impulsiveness. It is both a positive and a negative thing because sometimes it can be a positive thing, like the sari, and sometimes it can be negative also. So it works both ways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, it's
So
already 55. Yeah. Tell me. We still have time.
you have used one word confident. What does it mean?
Confidant. Okay.
Confidant.
So let me tell you first of all, the spelling I gave you had an E at the end. I have typed it here for you. Confidant means a best friend, but male.
But male.
Male. Yes, male. Now, if I add a E to it, it becomes a female.
Hmm. Confidant. How should I pronounce confidant? Confident.
Confidant. Confidant. It's
Confidant.
confident is different. I am confident about my public speaking abilities.
Mhm.
That means
So,
I'm confident. I'm sure of my public speaking abilities. That's what it means. Confidant is different. Confidant means we are talking about a friend. So it could either be a male best friend or a female best friend. Confidant with an E is used to indicate a female best friend. Likewise, I use another word, compadre. Compadre is a Spanish word which is used in the English language, which means your female friend. Compadre. You can use it for both male and female. Compadre is unisex. You can use it for both male and female. Your fellow colleague or your peers are all referred to as compadres.
so ma'am, how should I use confidant in sentences? I have a confidant friend. Confidant only or
No,
confident
no, no.
friend?
Confidant. I have a confidant. I have a confidant who I would trust with my life. As an example, I'm just giving an example in the form of a sentence. I have a confidant who I would trust with my life. That means this person, she is my bestest friend, and I would trust with my life. Life is the ultimate. No, there's nothing beyond life, right? So I would trust this person with my life because whatever secrets I tell her, I am confident. I am confident. No, I am confident that she is going to keep it with herself. She's not going to share it with anyone. She is not going to spill the beans.
Okay,
I think you already know this idiom. Spill the
no,
beans means to
well,
reveal your secrets.
well.
Yeah, that's it.
Time is running, ma'am.
Yes, time is running. It always runs out with you, Kusum. I don't know why. But as yes, you want to say something before we wind up, or all done?
No, ma'am. Next session we
What
will.
we'll do is the next session. Let's do a mock interview. I
Yes.
because I had done a previous session for someone with some interview questions, so the questions are ready. So we'll do a
Okay.
mock interview in the next session. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Bye bye.
Take care of yourself, Kusum. Have a nice day. Bye.
You too,
Bye.
ma'am. Bye.